I'm sure all of us have had the experience of talking to someone whom we feel is very stubborn and hard-headed. Di kasabot, gahi og ulo. And we get so frustrated because no matter how we try to explain to this person, di gyud siya kasabot, gahi gyud siya og ulo. Have you had that experience? Well, you know, that very person that you are thinking right now, who to you is hard-headed, stubborn, gahig ulo, no? Most probably, he is also thinking the same thing about you. Mao pud na iyang huna-huna nimo. Kay while you are trying to explain to him and you natingala ka how come he could not understand you, in his mind he was also trying to explain things to you and is also wondering why you could not understand him. No? One time in my previous communities, my assignments, there were two priests and they could not agree. They don't get along very well. And sometimes they tell me, one priest would say something about it, kinisikuan ba, gahi, good kasabot. And then after a while, the other priest comes to me and says, kinisikuan ba, di good kasabot. And I would say, the words you are using were the words that he also used about you. That's human experience. When we have made up our mind about someone, it's very hard to change it. That's what happened with Jesus. Imagine, he is Jesus. He is without sin. He is the most holy, most good, most kind person in not just in the entire world but in the entire history. And yet, his enemies are still able to find fault with him. His enemies are able to find the reason why he could not be the Christ. That's just how blinded we can be when our mind has made up. It's the same reason why I don't debate on politics anymore. Because mag-away gani ng supporters sa opposing candidates. There is no way, no? Their candidate can do no wrong and the other's candidate can do no right. And we experience that. But dear brothers and sisters, that's a very dangerous state of mind as well. Because if that is our state of mind, it means we can no longer know what is true. We can only know what we like or we don't like. We no longer are able to know what is true. And when we fail to recognize truth, we can fail to recognize Christ. We can fail to recognize the gospel of Christ. And so, this time of Lent, maybe we should challenge ourselves to not just to examine our weaknesses based on our own perceptions, based on our own biases, but be able to examine who we are based on what other people may say about us. We might not like what they say, we might not like the person saying it, but there is no harm in trying to reflect on whether or not this person might be saying something true about us. You know, if somebody is in that state of blindedness, you cannot change him. Kung nanagani sana nga punto, di na nimo siya mausab. In the same way as dili pud siya makausab nimo. But you can change yourself. I can change myself even though it is not easy. But one step towards that direction, no, if we are aware that we are somehow like that, one step towards that direction is really being able to take in what people say about us, whether we like it or not. Not so much to put ourselves down. That's not the point. But in order to get a better understanding of who we are, of putting ourselves in a better position to overcome our own biases. And when we are able to recognize the truth about ourselves, then we will be able to recognize as well God who is working in us.